Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry I've not been on here for a while, but it's that I'll jump on and do a little live stream here. I'm just working on some tanks that I've been working on for a few weeks now. That was what I was doing on the last stream when I was here. Yeah, and they're nearly finished now. Just finished up the 3 of them last night. These guys are nearly done now, so I'm just sort of... Sorry, that's the airbrush compressor going there. So these guys just need a few little bits and pieces need to be done to kind of finish them up. And I'm hoping that I will have this complete tonight by the end of the day anyway. So there's not really too much more to do now. So just give you kind of an idea of what they're looking like. So yeah, really just sort of metallics and some snow effects and a few lighting effects and things like that needs to be put on, and the tracks as well, which are that's the only kind of really big thing that needs doing. But yeah, they're coming along quite well, and there's not a huge amount more to do. So I think, I mean, I always sort of say stuff like this and give myself these ideas about getting stuff done within a time frame, and then I never make it. But I've got, my plan is to at least attempt anyway to try and get these complete by the end of the day. So yeah, which is doable. It's doable, but might mean sort of staying up a little bit later than I would do normally. But yeah, it's doable. Anyway, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab some water. Yeah, apologies. I wasn't really, it was a bit of a rush setup because I wasn't really planning on doing this, so yeah, a bit last minute. But yeah, all good. I think I've got everything in front of me that I need. Yeah, I'm just going to be cracking on with these really. As I say, there's not too much more to do. I need to add some metallics, add some lighting effects. The tracks need to go on, and then there's sort of snow and things that need to be added as well. But the majority of it's done now, so yeah, pretty happy with it at the minute. The only thing I wanted to do before I start on the metallics is just to kind of go back over some of the highlights, because the oil wash that went over kind of dulled a few of the bits down a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of just touch a few bits and pieces up. It's only have to be rough. They're going for they've got a slightly worn look to them. Yeah, I finished up the 3 big ones, the 3 sort of Baneblade variants yesterday. Really happy with how they came out. They're good. I'm really pleased with them. I think they look really nice. The schemes worked out well, and yeah, they've come together quite nicely. Yeah, so this has been kind of an ongoing project I've been doing for Gilded Skull painting for the last sort of few weeks and stuff, and I ended up having to take a bit of a break because I just had a few other bits and pieces going on. I was waiting for some paints to arrive, and it was too hot. My airbrush wasn't working. I got a bit frustrated with it, so I put things on hold for a week or so. But yeah, back on them now, and they're, as I said, nearly done. Really not that much more to do. This is just, to be honest, this touching up the highlights probably isn't that necessary, but I don't know, I think the oil wash kind of just dulled everything down a little bit too much, and there's not enough definition there, so I'm just going to kind of, being quite rough, and just picking out a few bits to kind of, just to bring the highlights back up a little bit. But this doesn't take very long, it's just quite a quick step, just to kind of bring them back in line with how they originally were looking before the oil wash went on. So I'm hoping you can see that all right. I've got another light here actually, spare me. Let me turn that on to see if that makes the picture any better. Fingers crossed that works. Yeah, so as I say, been quite busy, got a lot going on at the minute, and yeah, these kind of just got put a little bit on the back burner for a week or so, and otherwise they would have been done by now, but these things happen. and I had a real sort of concerted effort to get a load done over the weekend, and yeah, sort of achieved quite a bit. Went all right. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I went to see the new Alien movie last night, which was good. I enjoyed it. Sort of got mixed reviews, but I was quite into it. I enjoyed it anyway. Yeah, so taking a break out of working stuff to actually have a night out, which doesn't happen very often. It's quite nice. I can't remember the last time I had like a proper night out like that, actually. No kids, no, just me and my wife and out, and yeah, it was good. Yeah, the film was good anyway. If you're a fan of the original ones, there's a few bits I wasn't completely convinced with, but yeah, it's worth it. It was worth seeing. Brad L, hello to you. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so anyway, and the other things in the background, I've got a couple of other videos that I'm working on doing. If you can probably see a few of them in the background, that we've got. I'm working on a few Space Marines at the minute for my custom chapter. This guy's not finished yet, but yeah. So I've got a video coming up based on these guys, and there's a bit of there's a lot of stuff going on, and back here that you can't see off camera. So. Yeah, sort of been working through a ton of these guys in the attempts to kind of clear down some of my backlog, and yeah, so I've got another video coming up on that, and that'll be up. I'm hoping the end of this week, if I can get these out of the way and find some time to kind of finish that up. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if you're interested. I'm trying to kind of clear down a load of my sort of unpainted stuff. Got a bit of a backlog that I want to get rid of, and it started out as just a basic tutorial video, and it's kind of escalated a little bit into painting far too much all at once, but no, it's quite fun. But yeah, fingers crossed I'll have that done in and up, so I haven't had a lot of time to kind of work on any longer videos in the last few weeks, so but I will get something up that will be done relatively soon. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing some Space Marines, then yeah, keep an eye out for that. And also, just in case anybody's interested as well, I have a channel membership as well. If you wanted to give the channel any support, feel free to have a look into that. I've got a sort of an ongoing thing at the moment where a channel member at some point in the next few months, when it hits the deadline, will basically be sent all my unpainted stuff as a sort of incentive for me to get things done, but also to kind of clear the backlog and stuff. So yeah, it's a massive support for the channel. We've got a few members already, but yeah, if you obviously just watching the videos is help enough, but if you really want to support it, that's a great way of doing it. Yeah, so anyway, so I think that's looking all right now. A little bit more on the main gun there, and we'll just start working on the metallics. And I said the only real big sort of thing that he's doing on these now is the tracks, which is a bit of a faff, but that's all right. I need to get them primed and then painted up and then glued in, but I think it'll be a bit easier than I just did the tracks for the on the 3 Bane blades over the weekend, and they were a bit tricky to kind of get in position and stuff. They're a bit fiddly. I think these ones might be a bit easier, but I'll find out a bit later tonight. And yeah, so metallic, snow effects, a few other bits and pieces, and they'll be done. And they can go off back to their owner. Right, that's enough of that. I'm going to start putting the metallics, start blocking some of these metallics. There's not too much to do on each of these. There's just a few little bits and pieces. We've got the any of the kind of the lenses and the these sort of little windows and stuff, because they're going to get some technical paint over the top to when they're done. They have a kind of slightly different finish. So there's not a huge amount to do on these ones with the metallics. It's just a few little sort of token bits and pieces just to add a bit more colour and variation. I was trying to keep them a bit more grounded and a little bit more realistic. You know, you sort of see a lot of people paint Warhammer, well, tanks and stuff, you know, like with a lot of metallics and stuff on the guns and things like that, and tanks don't really tend to look like that. We sort of have everything was all sort of more one colour, so I was trying to go down that route anyway, trying a little bit more of a realistic look. So, but it's nice to have a few little metallic-y bits on there just to kind of break it up, and because otherwise it all ends up being one sort of colour. Guy, how long have you been painting Warhammer minis? I've been back doing this when I kind of had a real long break. I used to do it lots as a teenager, and then I had a really long break and got back into it maybe about 5 years ago. We were sort of expecting our second baby on the way at the time, and I kind of figured, you know, I want like a hobby that is quiet, where I'm going to be at home a lot. And I thought, you know what, I used to paint a lot. I used to paint models and do all of that. I used to do a lot of that, and so I thought, well, I'll go sort of dip back into that. And then a few years later, yeah, it's all kind of snowballed and escalated a bit. But yeah, so probably about 5 years sort of back in on it, and I've got quite a collection now. And this is pretty much what I do with my downtime. I do this. Break. Yeah, the kids are expensive. That's unsmall way took a break then. Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, it was a real long break. I kind of I did the classic thing of kind of being very into it as a younger sort of teenager, and I don't know, I think around about 19, 20 I kind of stopped, because I found other things that I was spending my time with. I'll leave that to your imagination. But yeah, and I just wanted something different to do, and I used to really enjoy it. So I thought that, you know, I'll get back into that, give it a go, see if it's something that I still enjoy. And yeah, it's kind of, I went out and bought a load of paint and a box of Cadian infantry, and yeah, here we are a few years later with quite a sizable collection and a YouTube channel, which I didn't think would ever happen. I mean, yeah, I definitely didn't expect that to happen, but I enjoy it. I do like making the videos and stuff. It's fun. Something I'd like to do more of. If I had more time and stuff, if you could do it, make it more of dedicate more time to it, then I would. But as it stands at the moment, kind of the output that I'm doing at the minute is about as much as I can manage without it turning into a chore. You know, don't want it to not be fun. Do you have any paint recommendations? I've honestly been thinking about swapping from most acidic paints. Besides maybe right. Well, definitely stick with the contrast paints, because they are my favourites. If I was going to recommend anybody anything, I've got a decent collection of contrast paints, and I use them a lot. They're some of my favourites to use. But I've got working on a Gene Stealer Cult army at the moment, which is almost entirely painted with contrast paints and washes and stuff. And yeah, definitely stick with them. I would, which is what I've been using a lot of these, which is the new discovery for me, is Pro Acryl. These are really nice. I do really like them. I've picked up a handful, not a huge amount, but I'm kind of slowly. This is a very good white paint. If you're after a good white paint, especially all the stuff, especially the Pro Acryl ones, one thing I've found is that these are really good through an airbrush if you do use an airbrush. But if not, they just work really well. They've got good coverage, and yeah, I would definitely recommend them if you want to kind of just try something different, not just all Citadel stuff. I do like the majority of my collection is Citadel paints, just because it's kind of they're just accessible. They're there. You can get a hold of them easily. I kind of know what I'm doing with them colour-wise and stuff, you know. But yeah, I'm sort of trying to branch out a little bit. Pro Acryl, definitely give them a go. That bold titanium white is excellent. And as I said, if you are using an airbrush, they work incredibly well. But these tanks were painted. This is all Pro Acryl stuff. This is all done with an airbrush. Majority of this. Yes, I'm not being sponsored by them or anything like that. If they want to send me some stuff, feel free. But no, they're good. I'm really impressed with them. So yeah, definitely recommended. But I think the thing is to try and just experiment. Let's get into airbrushing. Yeah, airbrushing is kind of a hobby in itself. It's a really useful tool. And you can do some great things with it, but it does take time and practice. It's one of those things that you it can be quite a big outlay to get a decent setup with it, and then you need to practice a lot, and you know, because I mean, it took me a really long time to get used to it. I just constantly getting it just never did what I wanted it to do. It was difficult. It was a real kind of steep learning curve, but once you get it, yeah, really useful. But the one thing I would say is that if you are thinking about doing that, don't do it first off. Don't do it as the first thing. Get used to using a brush and everything. You know, get confident with that and feel like you know what you're doing there first. Sort of brush control and that sort of thing, and then move on to an airbrush. But an airbrush is great. Like, I mean, especially even if you want to just use it for doing base coats and stuff. You paint like a Space Marine army. I mean, it's just invaluable. Can't say enough for that with an airbrush. It just makes life so much easier. Yeah, definitely recommended. But once you've kind of got the basics using a brush down, don't jump into it straight away, because you'll be disappointed, because they take a while to get used to. I forgot that. Do you have any overall tips for painting? Overall tips for painting? Just practice. Keep at it. Don't. That's probably the best bit of advice I can give. Really, it's just don't give up if the first two things we do or aren't exactly what you want them to look like, because it will just improve the more you do it. You have to just keep, you just devote an hour a day, an hour an evening, rather than sitting watching the TV. Just find a bit of time and stick at it. And the more you do it, the better, the easier it becomes, and your skill will kind of just improve naturally as the more you do it. That's one thing I would say. Just to keep going. Don't get discouraged by it. Keep and also to try different things as well. Don't having some variation in what you're painting also helps. So kind of going from, I mean, you can paint a Space Marine or a tank, but then also it's useful to try painting some more sort of organic things and stuff. But again, the more you do it, I think it's the same with any skill, really. It's kind of the more you practice, the better you get. It's like playing an instrument or playing the guitar. It's the first time you pick one up, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. But the more you stick at it, it just becomes sort of muscle memory, and you can do things, that you couldn't do when you first started. The other thing as well is to kind of just, another tip I would say is to hold on to the things that you painted at the very beginning. So I have this guy who sits on my desk, and he's one of the first things I ever painted, and he sits there just as a reminder of what you can do with a bit of practice. I mean, this is a really old, this is a proper old mid-90s paint, very old, but yeah, I think just keep hold of stuff, and then come back to it a year later and see compare it to what you're painting now and see the difference. It's amazing because it can be quite a gradual thing as well. So sometimes you don't notice the improvement as you're going. Yeah, I think that's probably. So I'm rambling now, but yeah, I think as far as advice or tips or whatever, yeah, that's probably the best one. Just keep at it. Practice. Same with anything really. The more you do it, the better. But yeah, the easier you find it, and you can do more. Paints like cooking, making food. Should you make food balancing? Yeah, exactly. See, the first attempt at anything, as you say, like cooking or something like that, is never going to be as good as what it would be the hundredth time you do it. It's just constant improvement. So, I'm not saying I'm the greatest painter in the world. I'm not, but I'm happy with where I am and what I can do. And in a year's time, I think I'll have improved again. It's just the way it is. Just got to keep at it. And also the other thing is just to not allow it to be a chore. If you're not enjoying it, stop. And if you're not enjoying working on whatever you're working on, stop. Work on something else. If it starts becoming a chore and it's not fun, then if you're not enjoying it, then you won't be putting the effort in that you want to, and you won't be able to get the results that you want to as well. So yeah, don't if it starts becoming something you're not enjoying it, then try and work out why or what it is that you're not enjoying about it. But yeah, I think that's the same thing with anything really. It's meant to be fun. If it's not fun, then there's no point in doing it. Unless you're painting stuff for commission, which is what this is. But this is fun. I'm enjoying it. I recently did a sort of a small 1,000 Suns army. And there goes the wind shutting the door. And yeah, I didn't enjoy that at all. They are not fun to paint. I think I've told myself I'll never paint any of those again because they were not enjoyable. In fact, that's another good tip. If you're just getting into this, don't start with 1,000 Suns. They're just a nightmare to paint. Nice models, but just horrible to paint. Every step of it was just, never again. Although I did paint Magnus for that, and he was fun. I've not done he was the first Primarch that I ever painted for that, so that was good. Other tips: use the right brushes. Don't do what I'm doing and use this to paint something like this, because it takes a lot longer. This is not the right brush, but it's here and it'll do. I want to say that I've enjoyed watching you paint. You're really good. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, thank you very much. It's Mighty Tortoise. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. yeah, I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing this anyway. This has been a fun project actually. These tanks. I do like doing stuff like this. So you can kind of do a bit of weathering and make them a bit battered up and stuff, and it's yeah, it's been quite a fun. In fact, while I can show you, because I actually boxed them up last night, but I'm just going to show you what they will look like and when they're finished. Because I don't think I'll get one done by the end of the stream, so I'll just get one of these guys out so we can have a quick look and get an idea of what the finished result is. So this is one of the 3 big sort of Baneblade variants that I've done. So I finished up all 3 of these last night. So that's where we're going. It's going to have that snow effect on it, a bit of mud and stuff on the tracks, some metallics, and the lens is all done in the red, sort of metallic red, and yeah. So that's where it's going anyway. That's what it will look like when it's done. Although I've just realised that I've missed those lenses there, or those lamps. So I'll leave that out. I'll finish that out when I do the rest. Yeah. So that's where we're going. That's what it will look. What these ones that I'm working will look like, and if I can, I'll have them done tonight. I hope. If not tonight, tomorrow. And then yeah, so they can go in the post and go back home. But yeah, there's not too much more to do. But I thought I'd just in case you were interested, I wanted to know what they're going to look like when they're done, because this won't necessarily be on this stream, but in fact it won't. There's no way I'll finish this within this time frame, but by the end of the day. And yeah, and again, if you are interested in seeing them when they are completely finished, I've got an Instagram page where I'll stick. I've already put a few photos of them up, but I'll get a complete picture of a lot of them when they're all done. So if you're interested, have a look for those. I do love the blue. What are we painting? Right, so we put, yeah, as I said, painting some guard tanks, all nice, chunky Forge World resin. Yeah, a sort of a custom colour scheme, which I do really like. Actually, it's nice. It's a nice scheme. And I said this on the last time I did one of these streams, that actually painting these has kind of really given me a bit of an itch to redo my own ones. But I've got too many other little projects on the way at the moment to think about doing that. But yeah, maybe one day. Because I've got quite a big guard army in a box that most of it's painted, but it's the first thing that I started when I got back into things, and I think I could probably improve it. But I don't know. I've already got too much to be working on without repainting stuff. As I said, don't use the small brushes like this to do this work. It's not very good. Not very efficient. The only thing I'm working out is how I'm going to fit these tracks onto the side of this without keep it nice and strong. I might have to put some pins in. That's the only other thing. I'll work that out later. I kept all the tracks separate just because it makes it easier. So easier to paint. But this one's a bit fiddly because they're kind of these big blocks of resin, and I'm not sure how strong the joint's going to be. I'll work something out. Yeah, and I think after this, when these are done, in the next couple of days, I'll be back on my Marines and get that video finished, because I've had a handful of people asking me for that, and I did promise I'd get it done. So that'll be the next things to come. I started it. I started filming it and working on it, and I haven't finished it yet, but it's sort of coming along. It's there. But I put it on hold just because I wanted to get these out of the way, get them done. Because I think there's going to be potentially another batch of these coming, so we didn't really have like a proper deadline for them, but let's just get them done, move on, get them back to where they belong. And yeah, and the other thing is that once I send them back, then I'll have a bit more time, and I can then sort of concentrate on my stuff and on the channel and things, and kind of get a few more videos up. However, I've never come across your channel before. I realise you don't have a lot of long-form videos posted. I'm shocked that I haven't seen anything. Well, it's great. Well, thank you very much, Garfield. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, there's as I said, channel's relatively small still. It's been going about a year. I'd like to be able to devote more time to it, but I don't always. I mean, if it was the original goal, the goal is always to try and get one video up a week, but it's just not always feasible. I've always got too much going on. Hopefully, at some point, I'll be able to kind of, I don't know, like cut back on some other things and have a bit more time to devote to it. But yeah, if you were interested and wanted to give the channel a bit of support, then there is a membership option there, and it's only a couple of quid, a month, but it does help. We've got a few members already, and I haven't got round to it just yet, but I'm kind of working on it as part of something else. To everyone joins up as a member will get their name graffitied onto my terrain board. I've got a big city board that I'm sort of working on. That's going to be something, and also all the members are kind of in the running to win, or not win, but kind of get sent. Somebody will get sent all my unpainted stuff when I hit the deadline. Basically, it's either painted or it goes away to a channel member, because I want to get rid of all of it and start from, have like a clear out, get rid of all the unpainted stuff, because it bothers me having that backlog. But yeah, if you did want to support it, it's there. Pedro, what model do you recommend a Dark Angels player to buy? What, if you're a Dark Angels player, a new player, we're just starting the army, probably a box of intercessors will probably be your best bet, just because it's a good way of getting that scheme down, and they're kind of a staple part that you would want to have. So if that was me, that's what I would do anyway. You got 10 identical guys that you can paint, all getting that green armor down and stuff, and if you're starting out, that's where I would go anyway. That's definitely where you want to start with. The Deathwing Terminators maybe as an option, but then that scheme is a little bit harder to work on initially, that sort of bone. But yeah, maybe one of those two. Yeah, so just bear me 1 second. I'm just going to quickly do something. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Hang on. Sorry about that. I made a cup of tea and it's sitting there, gone cold, so I'm sticking it in the microwave. 1 minute. Right, apologies, plus fresh water as well, because all those metallics, I don't want them floating around. Pleasure Islands. Second, there's amazing sponge bits for chapters to see the name. Right, so what's next? Again, I'm going to put some white in the lamps and things, so that's ready for the ready for that step to go on. And again, can't recommend this enough. If you are after a white paint, this is good stuff. I mean, I was already talking about them earlier, but a new sort of convert to Pro Acryl paints, and yeah, I'm a fan. I like them. As I said, I haven't got a huge collection yet, but I'm definitely going to pick up some more as I go, sort of slowly but surely build a bit more of a collection. I give myself a little budget every month to kind of spend on hobby stuff. About 40 quid maybe, something like that. And that kind of just goes on paints and stuff, really. Paints and brushes. Because I don't have a big budget to be spending on this stuff at the moment. 3 kids and a mortgage, and bills and food and all the other stuff you spend, all the grown-up stuff you have to spend your money on, all the boring stuff. Not my kids, obviously, that's not boring, but the bills and stuff, that's boring. So yeah, but yeah, I stopped buying models, I stopped buying anything, because I've got all this backlog of stuff that I'm trying to work through. It seemed not the best thing to buy. You know, I keep buying stuff, and it ends up sitting in a box waiting to be painted. And some of these things I've got sat here have been waiting for like a year or two to be painted, and I just decided from now on, that's it, not buying any more, not until everything's done, or I have to give it away to somebody. Yeah, this white is very nice. It's very nice. It goes on nice and smoothly, and it's just... I generally kind of avoid white paints if I can, because from my experience, have always been really sort of chalky and not very good coverage, and just they just dry on the brush before you can get it onto the model and stuff. So I don't always like painting white, but yeah, this stuff's really nice. A bit of a game changer for me, using it a bit more. Sorry, drinking tea, if you don't want to listen to that noise. Yeah, I think this one's only really got the one lamp, actually, this guy. I think that's it on this one. And this one actually there's some like metal bits that stick on the back of it as well that I haven't added yet, but I'm painting them separately, so that's another thing that needs to be added. What's next? I need to put some washes on these bits and pieces. Where are we? This is the other thing as well. Somebody was asking about painting tips earlier. Put your paints in order. Don't do what I do and just have everything a complete mess. The amount of time that I waste, just trying to find the stuff on my on my shelf is ridiculous. So yeah, put everything in order. Put everything in colour order. Don't do this. Don't do that, and have a big old mess of stuff where you can never find anything. Hey man, you got a really nice calm. Thanks for going live. Going through some anxiety stuff, and oh well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I know what that feels like. Yeah, that's never a good thing. So, well, I'm glad to have been some help. I'm not, that's. I'll try and I do try to get on these live things as and when I can. Glad it's helping on some level. That's nice to hear. Well, I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, that's never a good thing. But yeah, as I said, hopefully, hope if this is doing something to help that, then that's great. That's always nice to hear. I hope you're doing okay. I would love to try and do these a bit more often, but again, it's sort of everything else. It's work and it's kids and stuff. Having again, not complaining. It's not a complaint. It's more sort of actually having the sort of the time to be able to do it when you've got having an empty house is sort of rare here. I have 3 kids and 3 young kids, and yeah, it can be a bit hectic and noisy and stuff. It's all good. I mean, I wouldn't change it for anything, but it doesn't sort of go well with the idea of having a nice sort of quiet live stream. We can actually hear what I'm saying. So yeah, I just take these moments when I can to jump on. I might try and work out some way of doing a kind of like a regular thing. I'm not quite sure how I'll do it. I've got a sort of a studio thing out in the garden that is still needing to be finished. There's no electricity out there and stuff, and it's not quite done. But one day I will find the time and the money to get it all finished up, and then I would actually have somewhere to go to do this sort of thing. I don't think I'd ever use it like as a permanent place to paint, because I would never see. This is what I do in the evenings. My wife's sort of watching TV next to me, and I'm sitting here at my desk doing this. And if I was painting in a different building, or in like in a different little building in the garden, we'd never see each other. So, but it might be a nice place to be able to do some live streaming and some filming and stuff. So yeah, that might be something I get around to at some point in the future, to kind of be able to do these a bit more regularly. Quite nice together. Happy for you. Oh well, thank you, man. I mean, yeah, it is all good. I can't complain. I've got a nice setup, family, and all that, and yeah, it is. I can't complain. Life can be a bit hectic at times, and money's always a stressful thing, but that is for everybody, I suppose. But yeah, it's yeah, I wouldn't change it. Now, I think I didn't do any of these extra highlights on this one, did I? I did it on that one. This could do a bit of brightening up. But yeah, this is my sort of preferred method for painting like tanks and stuff. It's kind of doing things a bit, making them a bit worn and chipped, and not going crazy, but just not keeping them all rusted up and stuff, but also not pristine and perfect. I've I enjoy this, doing painting like this. It's it doesn't feel like a chore, you know. Which is why these Space Marines as well are taking so long. Because I don't know if you can see all these guys. I did already show some of these, but yeah, these are taking forever because I'm trying to keep them all sort of nice and clean. And I don't know how well you can see that or not, but yeah, as I say, working on another video for that. But they're kind of like the complete opposite. Everything's all perfect and pristine, and all the armor's got like 5 different highlight layers, and they take forever. Still fun, but kind of in a different way. But I need to be in the right frame of mind to do those. But as soon as these are done, that'll be the next thing, and they get a video up for them and show everybody how they're done. Quite a few people asking me how I've done those, and yeah, I keep sort of putting it off because I haven't been in the right place to kind of be painting those. They take such a long time, and you have to be. I try to be really precise with them, and it's not something I can kind of just do all the time. But saying that, I did kind of start back on them a couple of weeks ago while I was filming stuff, and actually kind of got back into it and was quite enjoying it. So yeah, I've sort of started on about 30 of them all at once, which is probably too many. Dawn's Apothecary. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you on here. And yes, yeah, a little bit of weathering does hide a lot of sins. Yes, you are absolutely right. I hope you're well. Nice having a few people I've actually met pop up on here every now and then. It's happened a few times now. It's quite nice. Nice putting meeting up with people that I talked to online. Can't stick around today. I've got to run some errands. Okay, man, no worries. There you go. Thanks for slapping some base coats on a repulsor. Oh, okay. Is that your? I assume for your custom chapter, which the name escapes me now. Yeah, I like your Marines. They're nice. Yeah. Well, that'll do for that anyway, I think, as far as the highlights are concerned. I'm not gonna... Do I want to do those tracks now? Probably not. I'll leave those because that means getting the airbrush out. I'll worry about that later. Too difficult to do right now. What's next? Let's start on... I'll start putting the snow effects on this guy. I can worry about the tracks after. Those can do later because they're going to have to be primed and base coated and stuff, and I don't want to do that right now. But I can start putting the snow on. So I'd never used this before, but the guy who owned the owner of these sent everything over along with this stuff, which I don't know what the actual use for this is, but if anyone knows what you would normally use this for, because I haven't bothered looking it up, then let me know. But it does work really well as snow. I'd never used it before until the other day. What's these tanks? Oh, Borna, hello man, how are you? You well? Haven't spoken to you for a long time. I hope you're well. And, you know, family's all okay and everything. Yeah, it's been a while. But yes, I am keeping well. Busy. Busy. But yes, I'm doing well. Right, so this was a bit daunting the first time I used this stuff because I ended up practicing on something else. I didn't want to start slapping it on and not really know how it works. But Baby 2 is destroying me. Yeah, they will do. Not finding it easier than the first one though. I did. I found the second one far easier than the first. First baby, man, that is the hard one. So yeah, it kind of. I try to kind of almost stipple this stuff on, kind of make it look so it's got a bit of texture to it, and once it's all on and it's sort of dried, it really does read as snow. I'm not sure what the actual purpose of this stuff is, like what it's intended for. It's not intended, I don't think, it's certainly not intended for this, I don't think, but it works. I think if I ever had to do, you know, sort of like another project or something that wanted a sort of snowy bases or whatever, then this would actually be a bit of a go-to because it does work really well. It's got a slight, even when it's dry, it's got a slight sort of shine to it, and yeah, it does work really well. I'm trying to be reasonably sparing with it, but not to kind of go too mad, just build up a little bit at a time, so I'm not kind of overdoing it, but yeah, it does work quite nicely. But yeah, I think the trick is to just kind of get it on and then stipple it a little bit to try and make it feel natural and not yeah, I think it works quite nicely. And I've never done snow effects before, so it was yeah, nice to try something different. Second one's definitely easier in many ways. Wasn't prepared for the toddler turning difficulty up. Yeah, that's the thing. The toddler, that's the thing. We had our second one, and it wasn't not planned, but we didn't think it was going to happen quite as soon as it did. And then suddenly we had like a newborn plus another, our eldest, who wasn't even 2 yet. You know, and it was a. And then we decided to move house. Well, not move house. We ended up destroying the house to sort of do a loft conversion, and it was all a bit much. Quite a hectic period of my life, I have to say. And then I had another one, and now we've got 3. And she's super easy, so it's all good. I think after you've done 2, after you've got 2 kids, the third one is just like very easy. They just sort of slot in. What do you think of new Vespid sets? Oh, the Kill Team stuff. Is that the right ones? Is that what I'm thinking of? If that is, then yeah, they're nice actually. Yeah, certainly improvement on the old ones. I won't be getting any the Kill Team stuff. Although it does look nice, I have to say. It looks like a nice set. I like the look of the terrain on there. But again, I've got too much. I don't need any more. I don't have the money for it, and I don't have the time, so I won't be buying anything. I won't be buying any the new stuff. Nice though. So I've still got working on the Marines. I've got the Gene Stealer Colts as well that I'm working on. I need to go back onto that because I've sort of lost some momentum there while I've been painting these, and then and a ton of terrain, big city board that we're working on. So yeah, too much. So I won't be buying any others. But yeah, some nice stuff. I like all the quite into all the new Blood Angel stuff as well that they revealed. They're a bit divisive. I think some people weren't that happy with them, but I think they look nice. I used to have a Blood Angels army, sort of a second edition one. It was my thing. Maybe one day I'll do another one, but I again can't justify it at the moment. I think I'd have to sell something. I'd have to sell an army, sell a collection if I wanted to start anything else. It's just too much otherwise. Yeah, hopefully that is starting to read like it's got some snow on it. What's the main blue for this army? So colours. That's the base. So it's Pro Acryl, dark grey blue, and then I think the highlight colour is sort of it's all airbrushed, and then the main highlight is sort of like a 50-50 mix of these two, of that and that, sort of airbrushed over, and then just that as the highlight colour. So it's quite simple. But again, this has all been airbrushed on. So, but yeah, nice paints. Highly recommended. I'm trying not to put too much any snow around all these back bits on these sort of where the engines are. Sort of feel like it wouldn't be there. It would have melted. So on the other ones I've done to this point, I've kind of left that bit and not had any. Yeah, it's starting to come together. There's some incredible army, and well, yeah. I mean, the guy who owns them has been telling me a few other bits and pieces that he's got, and he's got quite a collection, it seems. So yeah, he's got quite a nice lot of Forge World stuff. You know, all the stuff that I've never actually bought anything from Forge World. Don't own any resin at all. Never bought any. Painted a lot, but never actually had any of my own stuff. Although they seem to be getting rid of all of it, don't they? All the resin stuff seems to be all disappearing. Just all the Forge World stuff, and all being either being gotten rid of entirely or replaced with plastic kits. Which I think is probably a good thing, really. I mean, I like that. The resin kits are nice, and you do get there's some amazing stuff, but it's plastic is so much easier to work with. The amount of extra prep and stuff you have to do on one of these things to kind of but I mean, just being here and watching them is enough. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will hopefully catch up with you all soon. See you soon. Bye.